It's a great pleasure to share with you some insight about Dubai Now. When it comes for the Dubai Now is the unified platform for all the city services in Dubai. Today, it is designed for citizens, residents, and visitors. And when it comes also for the variety of services, it covers many services in terms of education, health, and also justice and related to transportation also. And one thing which I would like also to add here is the idea behind Dubai Now started in 2013 with the announcement of M-Government Initiative and in the alignment with the vision of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid to avail the services on the mobile channels. We started to have an idea of having a unified channels for all the services in the city to make sure that we have a unified experience and to make sure that we have a unified also effective and efficient channel. In terms of numbers, Dubai Now today has more than 1.5 million users, and the total spend by individual on Dubai Now, it is almost reaching 13.8 billion dirham today.
Extraordinary achievements, and as you say, in a relatively short amount of time. That's the Dubai Now establishment. Let's talk, Tam, if we can. Dr. El Askar, over to you.
Thank you, Tom. I think each one of us bring his own version of what's one-stop shop and what super app constitute. And if you bring today a group of experts, each one of them will give you a different definition of what's constitute a one-stop shop. And there is a good reason for that. If you go a little back in time, you see that around 20, 25 years ago, the one-stop shop became a big hype in different governments around the world. And everybody wanted to embark on that journey. And it's a huge transformation, and it's a very simple concept. Bring all of your services, provide them through one unified platform, avail them through unified channel, and ensure in that journey it's integrated, it's seamless, and it's secure in a way that delights your customer. As simple as that term is, however, the journey is very difficult. It's one of the biggest transformations any government can undertake today. And that was the reason many governments have actually stopped from day one. Many governments have embarked on that journey and abandoned it midway, and others started to create their own version. So you can see some governments say one-stop shop is on a service level. When you want to consume that service, you need to do it in a one-stop shop touch point. The other government went and said one-stop shop is as per a group of services. Other governments have said we will pick the priority services and we'll make them available through unified channel, while the rest of the channel can be available through different government channels. And you can see the different variation, and this is where the concept super app start to emerge. And the challenge was very huge, whether it's from the buy-in from the users, whether it's from designing the right experience, or even the technology itself. I can say today confidently and proudly that Abu Dhabi is the only government in the world who have tried true and honest to that concept. We went around 18 years back from 6 service centers where different government entities came and provide their services through the service centers to a journey of developing the right capability and talent, developing the business processes, improve them, developing the infrastructure, and underwrite the right foundation. And today we are in a place, not just we have a super app, we have a super portal, we have a super contact center, we have even a super service center. We moved from 140 websites to one website. We moved from 80 apps to one app. We moved from 120 service center to 20 unified service center. And we moved from around 30 contact center to one contact center. That was not just the end. We even start availing new channels. Today, in time, you can have chats. You can talk with the ChatGPT if you want. You can consume services through video from distance. The customer agent will interact with you, video. And if you give him permission, he will actually take control over your phone or your portal and do the service, and you can see him doing the service digitally. We actually went even beyond that. We provide services to the people of determination and senior citizens in home. So they just can call us, go to the app, book it, and people will come and serve them right where they want. Those innovation and different type of service delivery was coming from the vision of our leaders. We want to be the best. We want to bring everything that our constituents want. We want to put customer first. And they give us the patience, they give us the support, all the enablement, and they allow us to make mistakes and learn from them. And today we have 770 services on TAM. From government and private sector, we can see private sector now want to consume our services there, and we also reached to a stage where we have 2.4 million users. So we are very proud, and we're looking to further improvement in the future.
The numbers don't lie, that's for sure. Yeah, congratulations on the achievement to date. Mr. Al-Shamsi, over to you. Let's go on a journey, if we can, the journey of e&Life.
Before talking about e&, I mean, I'd like to give my thanks and appreciation for my two colleagues. Dubai Now have demonstrated the vision of the Dubai government so many years in the past before any other government has thought of the concept. As a user of both applications, the Dubai Now and My TAM app, TAM also have demonstrated the various services, not only having it available, but the depth of the integration that I've seen in the application is phenomenal. So well done, both of you, before I start talking about e&. So e&, Etisalat and a lot more. If I was sitting in this panel 5 years ago, you probably would have thought I would be talking about our superb connectivity, fast networks, but it's not anymore. e&, has emerged as a very strong technology global player from the success that we had embarked here in the UAE from a telecom space. e&, as a whole, from the technology and network related and telecom related that you know of superiority, has started doing a lot more services beyond that. Why are we here today? Why are we talking about government services? Well, one thing in common between e&, and the government, the whole population, for example, in the UAE, is our clients. We interact with every single client in the UAE, from the blue-collar workers into the affluent users in the UAE. The difference is we don't look at them all in the same mirror. We don't offer the same services to them. We have strengthened our capability over the years with various types of products and services. The power of segmentation, the power of insight that we have allow us to offer different types of services that we have, that allowing us today into our various types of applications that we have, over 13 million users only in the UAE. Some of them, of course, duplicated among different types of services. And recently, with the e&, story, with the e&Life specifically, which looks after consumer digital type of services, for the longest time, as e&, we were leveraging the power of the company, the technology capabilities, the insights, the relationship, the sales offices that we have to sell our only telecom services. So a couple of years ago, we reflected on our strength, we reflected on our insights, we reflected on our asset, and we thought, you know what? We can provide more to the society, to the country, to our enterprise user by putting the strength, the high-end factories that we have in terms of products and services and technology into the insights that we have, empowering more services. Sometimes you might look at it that this is challenging some of the sectors. So when we offered our financial services app, e&Money, people thought this is competing with the banks. But you don't look at the UAE, it's not only affluent people in the UAE. UAE population cuts across a large part of it into mass and blue-collar worker that's probably underserved or not even served. So for that, we offer our services, we innovate in that space. We want to deliver a story of the UAE to have financial inclusion across the whole society. You don't need to be at a certain level of income to be able to invest or to able to have a saving account or to able to do trading. From the power that we have, we can leverage on all of that. And this is something that we'll continuously do, and we'll come across it when we talk about the other areas.
Weren't we just? Yeah, three great examples, three great achievements to date as well. And of course, growing day on day at present. You're right, we've talked about the here and now. We've talked about what we've achieved thus far. We've talked about what has been establishment. It hasn't come without challenges as well. Customers being at the core and at the heart of every one of those projects. And we want to move on now to the next element, the customer experience, which isn't just about experience anymore. It's about engagement, it's about satisfaction, it's about efficiency, it's about time lag, etc. So, Dr. Alaska, I want to start with you, if I can, about some of those challenges that you and your team have faced, and the challenge of creating something that is seamless yet engaging and providing that all-important 360 user experience.
I think, Tom, if we want to take one phrase out of this whole session is people-first approach. We hear the fellow panelists and the previous speaker all have referred to people being the first in any endeavor to transfer the customer experience. And all of us here are customer in one way or another, especially when it comes to the government service. So if you look at what customer want, especially when dealing with the government, mostly four main things. One, make the service simple, fast, give me transparency in the process and the step, and don't make me run from one agency to another. Give me a full integrated service. The second, which is reduce the fines. All of us here have a lot of fines, especially traffic fines. I got one while I was driving here today. So that's the second one that you will see a lot of our customer feedbacks telling us. The third is be a little bit proactive when you interact with me. Give me the notification up front. Don't wait for the license to finish and then you tell me your license finished. Tell me up front, if you can automate it for me, automate it for me. Don't make me wait. Don't find me later on. Just make it proactive. And finally, be a little bit fun. Don't be a typical government. Don't be tough in your conversation with me. Have an engagement. Use, Tom, the right word, engagement. Have an engagement with me. I am a human being who want to be personalized, feel important, feel that I'm being taken care of by the government. And when you want to design that with the context of a one-stop shop, with the complexity of multiple, like in TAM, we have 770 services from different segments of the government, provided to different segment of user, how you can design that? So you need to digest that. You need to design it on the service level. Each service should be designed end-to-end, taking in consideration the customer input, and design it to be integrated with the rest of the service. Then when you avail it through different channels, you have mobile, you have portal, each of those channels need to accommodate that service and the rest of the services. And finally, and one of the most important thing is how to make those channels connect with each other, how to make the omni-channel experience. As I mentioned, is we have super app, we have super portal, super service center, and a super contact center. When you connected that, we introduce a new concept. We call it super omni-channel. It's no longer a super app, it's everything. And how to make that engaging for the customer is very crucial. So customer feedback is good. So one key pillar for us, what the customer is telling us. Since everything in one platform, we no longer rely on Excel sheet. Many of my government followers will know that the central agency will always send Excel sheet and collect data. We have it here centrally. We have the data there, we look at it, we don't need to do anything. The moment the customer complete a service, he will receive, we can capture his feedback hot. He will tell us if he's like it, if he doesn't like it, what's his main point, and we have a full team going through that. We listen to what our service providers say. They are the service owner. They know what their service strategy is. We listen to our system. We have a very advanced tool that understands the whole customer experience, every bottleneck, the frustration he's facing, and we also learn from what others are doing. We have a lot of countries around the world, they have a lot of good examples. So when you look at your customer, you look at your service provider, you have a system telling you all of the data, and you learn from others. That, for me, a good recipe for success. If you log into TAM today, the moment you log in, it will know who you are. It will proactively tell you what's action required from you. There is a central notification where you can see all the notifications from the government, regardless of which one is it. You don't know, you just want to know that the government sent notification. you will find all of your relevant documents in one place, your passport, your Emirates ID, your licenses, your kids' school certificate, everything will be in one place. All of your payment, all of your fines will be in one place. And we widgetize how government is interacting. So you can go to that one place, it's personalized, you can have a widget for every interaction, so you create your own homepage, you can favorite your experience. So that for us was the recipe, where we found that the user satisfaction was very high. And for the fun part, we went beyond the conventional. All of us here user of Netflix and Spotify, and this year we released the wrapper of Spotify in terms of time highlight, and it was so phenomenal. Everybody loved it, everybody was excited, we got good feedback, and it wasn't just a nice wrapper of the year, like this highlight. Actually, we tried to trigger in them some behavioral change. You've been caught by this speeding camera 10 times, watch out. Something like that was very fun, but at the same time was engaging. And
you cannot have fun with the 10 speeding tickets. But the early notification that you provide for the traffic, for me, is phenomenal, because you get that discount, and if you don't know it and the time elapses, you pay the full fine. So engaging the user with the early notification, that means you care. I mean, going back what the professor was saying, what comes first, the user or the revenue that comes out of the fine? So for you, by this notification, it's the end user that comes first.
I know what the professor said, that people just have it as a slogan, but we really care. We listen to them. We have a full team that just sit there, look at each feedback, and if you put one sad feedback, they will call immediately and they will listen to you. And this is kind of our proactive engagement with the customer.
Excellent. 50% discount next time.
Deal. Mr. Ashraf, just on that point though, and again, I mean, customers obviously key to your business and what you're doing at the moment. I'm sure I've got many customers in the crowd today. We've talked about some of the challenges there. One thing that we've also talked about is the technology that's being brought to bear. That technology is evolving so quickly. I'm sure that the sort of demands of the customer equally evolve very, very quickly here, continuously demanding improvement for the user journey. How do you stay on top of that?
So again, on the portfolio of the company that I manage under the E&D Life, which is the consumer digital, there are different companies that you're familiar with. So one of them is the E&D Money that I spoke briefly about, which is financial services super app. The other one is Starzplay, which is on the entertainment and streaming business that we acquired a couple years ago, and the recent acquisition that we've done for Careem, the super app that it was all. So they're all UAE-born digital champion into different type of streams. And personalization is key, because in the streaming business, personalization is key, because that's how do you recommend the right content for that particular user. So what we call it is the segment of one. It's not a segment, high-level type of a segment for across user, but even for that particular users. When you look at the financial services, knowing the nationalities, knowing the behavior, so maybe I will prioritize remittance to his home country as comes first. For some of the users, I'll be offering very soon credit and lending type of services to our financial super app. And I'll be able to segment the different user from people with good credit scoring and the one from poor credit scoring. And we'll be able, utilizing my insights and data, to be able also to treat them differently. I'll be working also with my colleagues and some of the services that we integrate with each other, because for us also government services is one of the key payment services. I'll be able to offer not buy now, pay now and pay later, like pay the fines right now and be able to have them as an installment by the E&D Money type of integration type of services. That's how we can complement each other. And in terms of listening to the customer, I mean, there is definitely in the digital space, there are a lot of customer sentiment analysis that we do from the social media, but also I like my people to listen to the customer itself. So I have employed recently 2 hours a week listening to the calls that comes to our call center, because without hearing the voice and dissatisfaction of some of the user, you will not able to fix it. And some of them even offer solutions for that. So that continuation of listening of the user, either from the digital domain or even the physical domain allow you for a continuous. And at eAnt, as a whole, we have a lot of interaction with the customer. We have a UI UX design studio. I mean, have like half of the people in the room probably specialize in that domain. And this is for the continuous experimentations of the changes in the design and seeing what fits, and maybe we'll have different flavor for different type of user. I think that's the key. But keeping it standing still of what people think in their offices, what best for the customer, will not get you anywhere. So that dynamic change is key into the way that you're offering services.
So next time you call the eAnt call center, beware, because you could be on with the CEO, all right? You never know, you never know. That's fascinating, but one thing that has sort of led us on to is that need for integration, and that's what we want to sort of move on to next, if we can. This whole of government approach that is key to improving the efficiency across, and to the elements you've just highlighted there, the buy-in from all key stakeholders, if you like. And I want to get the thoughts of Digital Dubai on this one. Obviously, Dubai Now has done exactly that. So, Your Excellency, if I can ask you about that, because let's talk about the orchestration. How have you managed to integrate so many different entities in one common goal?
Thank you, Tom. When it comes for integration or interoperability, it is very important for us to understand why we want to do this. It's actually to exchange the information between two systems, for example, if you want to provide the service in the city. And for that purpose, we worked on three main elements. The first one is about the technology, where we introduced our government service bus. Today, our government service bus connect most of the services in Dubai. And it is exchanging the data in a secure manner, and at the same time, it's providing also a marketplace for APIs. And on top of that, we introduce also API standards to make sure that there is right definition, standardization on the development of the API, so we can benefit from each API developed today in the city. And the third element, which is very important for us, is how we work together, actually, with the government departments. And this is very important for us because it doesn't matter if you have a right technology or if you have a right framework or, for example, policies. At the end of the line, you need also people to work with you in the right approach. And for that one, we introduced a new concept in Dubai, which we call it Digital City Tribe. Digital City Tribe consists of multiple squad teams. Each squad team is actually coming from a government department in Dubai. And each squad team has a designer, and it has, for example, business analysts, and it has a development teams. It depends the size of the squad team from an entity to an entity based on the number of services and based also on the size of the entity itself. This agility framework, it helps us to move faster in terms of development of services, and also to make sure that there is a proper ownership and commitment from government departments in Dubai.
I mean, the question of interoperability is obviously something that TAM has had to deal with as well. Dr. Al-Askar, has it been seamless?
I think when it's come to the integration, I don't believe the technology was the biggest issue. We have the technology, we set the infrastructure right, each government entity had its own capability in the back end. I don't think that was the main challenge. But I will go back to my initial point. The reason Abu Dhabi was successful is because we had the right leadership. They gave us the vision, they were patient with us, they made us make mistakes, they pushed us, and they keep pushing us further. And imagine you're going to different provider and telling them, I will take your services and put them in my platform. You're kind of like, you're taking their baby in a way or another, right? So for us, when we embark on this journey, we created a board. The board have the Director General, the Undersecretary of each of these entities, part of that board. And they were meeting regularly. They took the hat of their entity and they wear the hat of the government. And we did a lot of governance on top of it. Imagine there was one period of time where we were meeting every day at 9 o'clock in the morning, every day. All of the government heads, imagine, they're meeting in a place we call a TAM Factory, where it's an open space, everybody is there. So if you want to change how we work, we need to change the culture, we need to reduce the bureaucracy between us before we reduce the bureaucracy outside. So they're meeting every day at 9 o'clock in the morning. We present the result of the progress, and we're working from almost 8 to 12 at night. And I had a screen behind me because I'm also in the open space. And we have the dashboard of the kind of like a gamification of their progress. And at 12 o'clock, we used to publish the score. And the score will be presented 9 o'clock in the morning. And you can see from each government entity, somebody standing there, taking his phone, taking pictures, sending it to his boss, because he wants his boss to come ready in the morning. That type of tactics, that type of engagement and collaboration, what made us make it happen. Otherwise, there is a lot of example around the world where one-stop shop have failed, and they didn't continue, or they stuck at certain level of service. They didn't continue to what we reached, 770. As I mentioned by also Khalifa, the integration, the technology, how to make things reusable, letting go. Etisalat, for example, today, because they're thinking of how to make the service easier for the customer, you can log into TEM, pay everything. You can pay your fines, you can pay Etisalat bill, you can pay electricity, you can pay your gas, everything in one shot by the end of the month. Imagine the convenience that that brings. And we monitor that and want to gamify that even in the next release of the TEM app.
You make a really valid point there, and what have we got? I've got about 50 minutes left or so, but I just want to get onto the issue of, because you mentioned there again convenience, and that seems to be something that's cropping up time and time again. Make it more convenient, make it more efficient, etc. But with that comes risks. And I want to move on to a couple of the sort of big talking points in this landscape at the moment, data privacy and security being one. Mr. Al-Mahiri, going to start with you, because obviously this is something that you deal with on a daily basis. The need to innovate, the need to be cutting edge means speed as well. But how do you therefore deliver that whilst also ensuring robust security?
Innovating in city service doesn't mean that we compromise on the privacy of the customer information or the data security itself. We take the data security as a very serious matter in Digital Dubai, and it is one of our main pillars in our digital transformation strategy. We have our own standards, policies, and information security teams who are working to ensure that any service published today in Dubai Now, it is already verified before it is published. However, on top of that, the agility of the information security team of adapting the new technologies, and also the agility of updating our policies, security tools, to ensure that we can really leverage the new technologies today in our industry. That is very important, key element for innovations. And the third element is related to the user identification or the customer identification. And this is really a main pillar in any digital transformation in any city. If you don't know your customer, then you have really big issue. And that is where we are relying on UAE Pass. UAE Pass is actually the first national digital identity systems today in UAE. It is a collaborative effort between Digital Dubai, Abu Dhabi Digital Government, and also TDRA. Today, UAE Pass is used by more than 7.2 million users. We have more access to more than 12 services in the country, whether it's a federal or local or even a private sectors. And that is a fundamental piece to secure your services today in this space.
I'm so glad you brought up innovation. And again, that's something I want to talk about here. And again, you mentioned UAE Pass, then the innovation there in delivering answers to the questions. Mr. Al-Shamsi, I just want to pick up on, because I'm looking at the numbers here, and I appreciate these numbers have probably changed overnight given the success of and all that it operates, but I'm reckoning 16 countries you're operating in, touching on 164 million customers on a daily basis interacting with your services one way or another. You're tasked with adding next-gen technology service offerings to the portfolio all the time as well. How do you go about that? What role... How do you encapsulate, how do you explain to us the role that innovation is playing in the services that you're building, the super services you're building at the moment?
So definitely you look at the opportunities in each particular markets. What's the demand that's coming from the user, and what's your own forecast of what's required? Because you cannot always rely on insight that comes from the customers, because as Ford said, if you ask for people what they will want faster horses, not cars. So sometimes you have to innovate into the way that also you bring services. If I double down on one of the portfolio services that we have, which is again in the financial services domain, we have different type of digital wallet across the areas that we have, from Afghanistan to Pakistan to the UAE to Saudi Arabia to Egypt and some of our African markets. The way the services are brought up, maybe some of the basic services cuts across all the markets, like payment services, like remittance type of services, but also there are services that, because of the demand of the environment, like for example, in Egypt, for example, a service which is very common in Egypt, what's so called in Arabic or Egyptian jam'iyya, is the kind of services that people, borrowing from each other and payment. We had to innovate by creating that one in the wallet itself to facilitate a traditional way of doing it into a digital way. And that's like a wow moment for people when they have done that. In Saudi Arabia, the wallet, what they have, what they call it, al-gatta. Gatta means we're going out for dinner, and who's gonna pay? And Tom, you've been here long enough in the UAE to see how people fight over paying at the dinner table. So that was something also that in our Saudi operation that came out as an innovative way of distributing the payments that don't fight. Let's each one of us pitch in through the wallet. And this is something that we do across the various markets. What we are coming out here, like not the one reflecting on the requirement of the market, but we foresee future foresight of what we want to give is the example I gave. The financial inclusion is not a soft thing that we just want to say for the sake of nice gathering. It's deep heart embedded in our way of life. And one of the things that we are doing, I always give an example of construction worker from the subcontinent building a luxury villa in the Palm, Jumeirah. He might earn his salary today out of that. But our vision out of it is to give that construction worker an opportunity to invest in that beach-facing Palm villa, not the whole villa, might be a fraction of that one, but he will gain the premium that this villa have. So again, when I say democratizing some of the services, making it available, financial inclusion, this is our aim. And this is something that we want to double down in the UAE. We're launching gold trading in our app soon for the subcontinent. And now I think it's the best time with inflation. People want to invest in gold to make it available in every hand of the user. So this is something that was not considered in the past. When we have launched in March our prepaid card, and today we have almost 400,000 people having the first time their MasterCard prepaid on their phone, and their Apple Pay, and their Google Pay, and their Android Pay, people feel elevated. This worker who have his Android phone and he can pay by tapping his Samsung Pay. This is an inclusion on payment across so many different means, and allowing people to transfer money within the country for free. It makes it easy also for them. So continuous innovating by bringing services in each domain that we have. So in the financial service domain, our aim is to be the financial super app services in the UAE across the various segments. And in the other area, in the streaming type of service that we have in our streaming service, again, we are #2 streaming provider across the whole MENA because we are in 22 markets. We're continuing currently the innovation in the content domain, but also we're bringing fantasy sports, also relevant to the sport content that we have. We're putting fantasy sport also as a mean of engagement. So that's the cycle of continuous innovation.
I'm conscious of time, and we are almost out of time, but I'm amazed that we've got through to almost the end of the session without mentioning a certain phrase: artificial intelligence. I've just done it. I've just mentioned it. Artificial intelligence, obviously one of the other big buzzwords and themes of all the discussions that are taking place, not just here at the World Government Summit, not just here at the Government Services Forum, but the world over. Your Excellency, Mata Khalifa Al-Khamery, artificial intelligence, or more importantly, emerging technology. What sort of role are the rapid advancements of AI and emerging technologies playing on the platforms that you are helping to develop at the moment?
I think AI will be a hot topic today and tomorrow and even for the coming years. That is for sure, Yani. When it comes for AI, with the announcement of ChatGPT in 2022, we saw that there is two mindsets about AI. One see it, for example, as competitive tool, and somebody see it as a collaborative technology. The one who see it as competitive, always they consider it as a risk and a threat, and they put a lot of policies, rules to stop using it or at least ban it from the access. And the second thought, which is actually of collaborative, they see it as an adding value to the capabilities of those individuals and these countries. In UAE, we have foreseen the embracing the technologies or the benefits of embracing such emerging technology, whether AI, blockchain, and also big data and IoTs. And this is a long time ago. In 2017, we were the first nation to appoint a minister for AI, which is really due to the importance of this technology. And in 2023, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Crown Prince of Dubai and the Chairman of the Executive Council, launched the Dubai AI Center to accelerate the adoption of AI in government of Dubai. And that is something which we really working on it. We have many use cases today implemented in the government level and also in multiple sectors. We launched, in alignment with this vision, we launched Dubai AI Digital City Concierge, which is acting as a concierge for customers and citizens in Dubai, and to make sure that to answer any inquiry and services related to the city services. Today, Dubai AI, covering more than 15 sectors in the city, and it is a joint effort between us and the government of Dubai.
Listen, it goes without saying, artificial intelligence is part and parcel of all the discussions out there. The good news is that we've got good old-fashioned human intelligence up here on the stage. So I'm going to go closing statements. Had opening statements at the beginning. You gave us the little elevator pitch, or more extended elevator pitch. Give us your closing statements about the future of your platforms, your aspirations, the future of your respective platforms. Let's start with you, Khalifa, if we can. Khalifa Al-Shamsi of E&. What's the future hold?
Future is going to be collaborative, so you're not going to see government work alone. There will be a lot of collaboration between public and private sector, leveraging on each other's strength, data, capability, and it will be inclusive, so it's not going to be treating a certain type of a segment, but it's going to be the whole population of a country, and it's going to continuously innovate.
The future of TAM, His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Al-Askar.
Three main points. We have an effortless strategy in Abu Dhabi where we're going to continuously improve the services, similar what to Mr. Shamsi mentioned, that they have their own design studio. And Department of Government also have their own CX studio where they bring the different stakeholders, different service provider, and the customer, and they design their journey. That's continuous effort will continue ongoing. Second is we're going to move from being just a one-stop shop to become more of a lifestyle app for the whole city of Abu Dhabi. And we can see right now a lot of private sector is approaching us to provide the services through the app. And third, whether it's stuck to new technology or AI, there is a lot of implementation we're doing on AI. And we have a special super secret project I cannot reveal fully here. We call it TAM-X. And when it's come out, it will change how the customer experience goes. It will be the answer to the problem that most social scientists used to trigger and talk about when it's come to the digital experience. How you humanize the digital experience, how you make it more social. Return to the old generation where I can interact with the individual and he can feel empathetic to me and he can tell me, are you feeling well today? You're driving too fast. Why you're driving too fast? Can you slow down? It's not good for your health. And your safety and for the safety of your fellow citizen. That's what we're trying to do. And once it's launched, you will hear of it, of course, Tom, and the rest of my fellow colleagues here. And I think you will enjoy it.
Love that. We've got applications that are paying dinner for us, applications that are slowing down the cars for us. It's all working. Final words from the CEO of Digital Dubai. We've talked about Dubai now. What about Your Excellency Mata Khalifa Al-Hameri? What about the future?
In 2021, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid set one goal for us with the reformation of Digital Dubai, to digitize life in Dubai and not only government services. And that is actually the mission for the coming years. We are digitizing live, which means that there is a strategic shift from focusing on individual services only to focus on a complete journey city experience. And that is where we are, inshallah, going to work on it in the coming years.
Can't wait to sit with you in coming years to see where we've got to. Listen, for now, we are out of time on this particular panel, but can't thank our Excellencies enough. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for a special panel. The three Excellencies join us live here on stage.